So, okay, before we get into everything, let's go to Firefox here. Mad props for using an Audio-Technica AT2020. This is totally a mugshot, very, very scuffed, if I might add. But anyways, we're not going to leave this frozen for too long, but mad props for the AT2020 using a somewhat decent microphone instead of just talking into a laptop speaker. YouTube creator insider folks, why are you using laptop cams for your stuff? I mean, go get a microphone. You know, it's all about content creation, and yet folks are using stock equipment for some of these videos. So I'm already liking this already. Okay, enough with this guy being stuck like, oh. Let's get debate format up and running here. We are going to, oh, this is perfect. It looks like a Discord call. All right, so let's just do this with, let's see, unlock the preview. Is it locked? No. Let's see. Click. Let's go to sources. Give me my webcam. I want to have some room to be able to say, Oh, I think they're all linked together. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to watch this, and we're going to respond to these new announcements for Creator Insider. I did this earlier. Okay, this guy has been like, oh, for long enough. Let's fire this thing up. Yeah, it is time to play some stuff. This time a YouTube video.
All right, insiders, we are back, and you've guessed it, we are starting our news flash with a flashback. If you were missing Tom, like the rest of us, you'll be happy to know that his...
Alrighty, we are back. In before the I'll be back jokes.
collaboration, part 2 with Tim from Video Creators is now live. We'll be leaving a link in the description, so check it out and leave him a couple of comments to let him know that he's missed.
Love the accent, by the way. Okay, a little bit of context. Can I do that? Oh, I am still in the camera. Okay, a little bit of context to what's going on. So I believe this is a better mugshot. YouTube has put a shot across the bow of Twitch with this custom emojis for memberships. One of the things with YouTube versus Twitch is that they have different words for the same thing. Like, so for example, I give up. A subscriber over on YouTube is the same as a follower over on Twitch. So yeah, and in this case, the custom emojis for memberships are like the custom emotes for subscribers. So this popped up on my phone. I was like, please tell me YouTube isn't deprecating playlists. Thank goodness I read the rest of the push notification. So yes, same thing. So what this is, custom emojis for members means your subs get over on YouTube, get custom emotes. So this is a Twitch feature being brought YouTube side as YouTube tries to catch up to Twitch in the streaming department and close the gap. Of course, this is something I'm interested in because YouTube is only a few UI changes away from having something comparable to Twitch with a lot more potential. So, and this is them working on the UI. Let's continue. We put the mouse in the right spot.
Okay, update number 2, back to analytics. We talked you through the new feature, other videos your audience has watched. And we wanted to keep you updated, as promised, with the progress of the rollout. By July 22nd, we're hoping for a 40% launch. Quick reminder, if you're not seeing this feature in Studio, it's indicative of either your content being made for kids or there just simply not being enough data associated with your channel in order to launch it to you.
So this looks interesting. So other videos your audience watched, that's a reverse demographics probe, so to speak, where I'm like, okay, what are people interested in that watch my channel? And so you make more content that's more along the lines of folks' interests, or if you want to diversify or something along those lines. So let's say you're like me, you make tech videos and you find out that a lot of the folks who like tinkering with computers are into like raising horses or something. You know, make a video about running a horse farm or something like that. This is all academic. I'm trying to think up something here. But anyways, I thought I was going to talk about RPM, which was the not revolutions per minute, not the RPM like an engine RPM. It's revenue per million. It's the revenue version of CPMs, which recently launched. Not too fond of the metric because they need to keep CPMs in there because revenue, there's a couple of issues with the number and what I call 1 = 1, but that's worth its own discussion on the analytics side of things. I'm staying up later than I usually stay up in order to watch this video and react to it, so let's not get sidetracked too much. But I do want to talk about YouTube's RPM metric that recently came out, and why it's not necessarily the best number in the world to keep an eye on things like, for example, are the algorithms holding back your content because you've attracted an audience that uses a lot of ad blockers, which is a problem that I have with my tech videos.
So we'll continue to keep you posted, and we'll check in with you over the coming weeks. Next up, we have some great news around the ability to change your avatar, otherwise known as your profile photo, on your channel. Up until now, you've only ever been able to do this on YouTube main on desktop, but what we're hoping to have happen by the end of this month, July, is to have the ability to do that on the YouTube main app, both for iOS and Android. So stay tuned, you'll hear it here first, and we hope you're looking forward to this update.
Okay, another UI change. So they're moving in the right direction of improving the UI to make it a smoother experience. But this is also left over from the Google Plus days, when you had to go to Google Plus to change your avatar in your YouTube channel. I don't miss those days.
Next up, we have some great news around custom emojis for memberships. That's right, you guessed it. Up until now, you have been able, if you've enabled memberships on your channel, to upload custom emojis which members can use on things like live chats and premieres. But wait, we're bringing out a launch whereby creators can upload custom emojis which members can use in public and members only video comments. Mind blown.
That is Twitch. That is Twitch stuff on YouTube. You see, one of the things people don't talk about when it comes to emotes is that on Twitch, emotes serve, I may have to go to my actual channel, my channel on here. Emotes serve as a hidden advertisement for whoever's channel they're coming from. Like, let's say, for example, let me find a good one here. Who's somebody I want to promote in the middle of this? Okay, so if you're watching on Twitch, you're going to see this pop up in the chat. There we go. Nice thinking emoji here. This is called Nikki B. Think, and it is from the channel Nikki Briani, who is a streamer that doesn't stream too... I've got a gift sub to her channel. She doesn't stream too much, but she's incredibly charismatic, full of energy, very cheery and bubbly when she's on stream. And so whenever I see her streaming, I know that if I click over there, it's gonna be all laughs and fun and stuff. Very nice, lighthearted entertainment. She's a just chatting streamer, but she's not one of those people that relies too much on her looks. So she has some wonderful personality and some wonderful charisma. Now here's the thing. If I use this over on Twitch, if I click this over on Twitch, and I don't have it on screen right now because we're watching the video, if I click it, and I shouldn't do that because I'm in OBS right now. Let me go to my web browser. If I go to the browser and watching the stream and watching my stream here, if I click on the name, I can actually click the title and go straight to their channel. When was the last time Nikki streamed? She last streamed 11 days ago. Yeah, she only streams part-time. Whenever she does stream, though, it's pretty awesome. So, yeah, and it's a hidden way to click over and check out the other creator. So, the fact that YouTube is rolling out something like this is basically, yeah, shot across the bow at Twitch. This is the YouTube answer to that, especially when it can be used publicly so that people, if they're like, oh, what's that? They click on it and there's a link to your YouTube page. So again, it's something that Twitch does very well, but YouTube is playing catch up with. And one of the things that's holding back YouTube as a streaming platform is the UI. This is work on the UI. Twitch, are you paying attention? Because if you're not, it's a big problem. All right, you know what? Let's do this. There, now I can like do this and have it actually show up on camera. We continue.
Not for all of you though, because if you notice, I left a hint around this in last week's video in the trivia question. Now, this has been a long-standing feature request from the community, both from members and the creators that the members follow, so we're really happy to be bringing it out to the community. Next question is, when are we rolling it out? Well, we're going to be rolling it out slowly. over the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. We'll alert you when it's live for your channel, but hopefully you'll see some of those custom emojis being used by your members first.
Okay, we gotta figure out this OBS thing. Why am I seeing the title here? This wasn't the case earlier. Is it because I changed? Is it because I changed the camera or something? All right, let's see here. See, group. Is it grouped? Yeah. Can we ungroup it? Transform. Let's see here. See, that's the thing. In OBS, I actually can't click on that. I think I locked it somewhere. Lock preview, preview scaling, full screen, scale to window, sources. Can I fix this? Oh, it is in a group. The stream elements overlays are in a group now. Whoops. Mozilla Firefox? Is it locked? I gotta fix this afterwards. Why? I shouldn't be able to see part of my screen there. Let's just switch over. There we go. Nope. Still, this should look more like a Discord call. This should look more, or no, it's the padlock. Still, quit being such an OBS noob. There we go. I want this to look more like a Discord call. So let's go in this direction, up to the top of the window, and let's do this. And see here. And quit being such a noob in OBS. There we go. It's slightly different than the last time we did this. Hey, you know, if we're doing this, we might as well do this with the webcam as well. Let's unlock this. And let's do this, and let's get more of the Christmas tree back in the shot. OBS, baby. Now I just gotta get the stream elements overlays out of that group and to get rid of that stupid thing. Alright. Enough playing with OBS, but let's lock the webcam, let's lock the web browser, and let's continue. Yeah. Alright, enough being such an OBS noob.
And next up, we have the return of a top requested product feature. This is a new comments card, which you will be able to see in the Studio desktop dashboard. Now, what's it going to do? It is going to show you the comments across your channel, which you have yet to engage with, and it's going to show you the latest comments first. So thank you so much for the feedback that you've been providing to us. As ever, it's what drives the focus of many product and engineering teams.
And I am going to delete that off of my dashboard and hide it and not show it, because if I want to deal with comments, I want to settle down, just go through the list. The existing interface, I believe, is good enough as it is. The big thing, though, is the custom emojis. That is massive. That is more feature parity with Twitch. So at some point, this is going to turn into Team Red or Team Purple. That it's totally going to go in that direction. YouTube wants to play catch up, and they are clearly hard at work doing it. Now they just need a couple other. This is some small features, by the way, that are being bragged about in the video. If they put something even bigger in, like for example, a way to dono someone on an upload, these live streaming platforms would be doing an about face in no time flat.
Next up, we have improved info card experience. This is something that James ran through and did a quick demo of 2 news flashes ago. So let's do a quick recap. This is 100% live for 100% of creators, and it's an improved info card experience in Studio. Why is it improved? Well, it's faster, it's easier, it has a better user interface, but I hear you yell, Connor, those are all buzzwords. We've heard them before. Give us the actual details. What's the benefit? Well, imagine a universe in which you can add an info card while uploading a video. You can do this in the video details section and in the full screen editor. But wait, there's more. The icing on the cake. No more opening another tab. You can do it all in the one tab.
Is this the card feature? I almost never use those because I don't think people watching a YouTube video want to constantly see things popping off the side of the screen. I mean, the end screen is fine, but the cards popping up, maybe if I like call it out or something. But I just remember when people were annoyed by little pop-up comments that there used to be in the videos. If there were too many of them, people would get annoyed and they wouldn't want to watch the video anymore because it cluttered everything up too much. So I'm not really too big on cards. I don't think I've ever even used them. If I want to reference other content, the end screen is good for that. And then people know, if they want to see links or something, they just skip straight to the end of a video. Don't know if too many people do that, but yeah, info cards, I'll have to read up on that. It's not something that I've really delved into too much. Maybe it's time for that to change. Who knows?
Thanks to James and his team for this fantastic update. It's been something that's been requested from creators for quite a while. Enjoy. All right, last update before the trivia, which I know you cannot wait for after seeing such high engagement with emojis within the comments last week. We're going to talk about the deprecation of a couple of playlist features that you're not going to see as you move from Classic Studio to New Studio.
See, this is where the push notification royally screwed up. I see YouTube deprecate playlists, and I'm like, you're kidding. Playlists are one of the biggest things that let you catalog your content on YouTube. Then I read the rest of it. Oh yeah, old features that nobody uses. Okay, well, let's see what the deal is here. Let's see if I recognize any of these. Or is it going to be like video responses, which is something that YouTube said not a lot of people used, but they deprecated the feature. And yet there were channels that were running specifically off of video responses when it happened. Let's see here.
Now, we are deprecating these 5, which you'll have to forgive me. I'm going to read out this time because I didn't have time to memorize them. They are video notes.
Never heard of it.
Remove duplicate videos.
I've used that before. It's a great way to clean up a playlist, so they're taking that out.
Set as official series. Auto add video rules, and translate playlists.
Yeah, most of those I really didn't use. Set as official series, I never used. Auto add, I never used. See, I think these are blah features anyways, but removing duplicates, what are they going to do to replace that? Or are we going to have to manually look through playlists for dupes again? Because, yeah, there have been a couple of times where I've shuffled things around and screwed this up. So, yeah. Okay, anyways.
So our goal is always to make sure that we're working on the features that are going to see the most usage and add the most value for the most numbers of creators. So if you have any feedback on the playlists feature as you'll see it in New Studio, this is the place to come. Leave us a couple of comments beneath. As you know, we always read every single one of them. All right, and just before we get to the trivia, one thing I wanted to go through, which I didn't get a chance to at the start, was what I learned over the last week about what it's like being a creator. Something that I think is quite obvious but has a huge impact is the yellow icon, and what the experience of it is like when one is applied to your video, and when there's, from your point of view, very little information as to why.
That's demonetization he's talking about here, which basically means not suitable for most advertisers. So there might be some edgier... I keep hearing that there's going to be edgier advertisers to allow these yellow icon videos to make money. When's that ever going to show up? Because when it comes to brand friendliness, there are some brands out there that want to look like badasses. So it's just... but that's part of the thing with YouTube, is that they're scrambling so much. So many of these features are very much works in progress, and they're going to have issues because they're works in progress.
You've probably heard about self-certification and rating your own content. So we're going to leave a link in the description to a Help Center article that my team is working on, and we're going to try and update a couple of times for the rest of the year.
So here's where I stand on the whole... Another bad mugshot. So here's the thing. With the whole ad-friendly thing, YouTube is running like a radio or a television station. And so what that means is that the lifeblood of the entire platform is advertising. The way things work with radio and TV, or we'll take radio, keep it simple. The way things work with radio is that you sell advertising to make some revenue, and then you bring in the talent, which gets more people to listen and allows you to raise the value of that advertising. So the value of those CPMs is what drives the entire business model. So if YouTube systems are going to promote my content and shuffle it around, like I've seen some videos get passed around to endless audiences getting like 1,000 views a month on a video about a washer and dryer from end of 2015, beginning of 2016, if YouTube systems are going to do that, slow as molasses as they may be, if I do non-time sensitive content, which, by the way, over here on Twitch is where I prefer the time sensitive content versus YouTube. And we'll see if YouTube can change my mind on that. However, if that's the way YouTube's going to operate, then yes, I want to make ad-friendly stuff. And what I like about self-certification is that you can actually just fool around with stuff to see what will actually get you demonetized, and that gives you ideas on what not to do in your videos or what to upload if you want the system to pass your stuff around. So in a sense, the self-certification is a form of transparency, which has often been missing from a platform like YouTube. Now, oftentimes, YouTube systems are a black box. We don't know how they operate, and sometimes it seems like YouTube doesn't even know how their own systems operate. So, to have something like this come along with self-certification to let you see what their standards are for brand friendliness is really fun stuff, because it gives you a template on what to make if you want to upload stuff that gets passed around and makes money. So, and other stuff like that.
The question I have for you is, what is missing within that article? What could we be adding in there to better represent the content that's on the platform, or a content area that you might just be confused about? Leave some comments below. I'll read through them and I'll go through them with my team. We'll have some more updates around self-certification over the next couple of weeks and some updates that we're making to the questionnaire.
So, I always miss with the mug shots. Self-certification is pretty cool in the sense that if you have access to it, you can actually, what you should be able to do is have something you can click through maybe in Studio or something and see what turns the icon yellow, and then don't do that in your video. So you shouldn't have to wait until you're in the middle of uploading something in order to... You shouldn't have to wait until you're in the middle of uploading something in order to see what will be a yellow icon and what isn't. It'd be cool if you could actually see what triggers demonetization before you even start making something. So you know, okay, you know, if I want to grow a channel, or if I want to grow my channel through the systems instead of through word of mouth and constantly begging my audience to share my stuff around because YouTube's not helping me, then yeah, self-certification is something I should be able to check out before I even get started. And that way I know, you know, if my video has this kind of edgy content or this kind of controversial stuff in it and it gets demonetized, I already knew it was coming because YouTube said up front, if this is in your video, it'll probably get a yellow icon. That's transparency. Some people call it censorship because, well, I don't get to make any money. Well, here's the thing. There have been some high-profile incidents where brands were upset about where their ads were being shown. That's why YouTube made this system. And yeah, they scrambled a bit and it's a little crude, but that's the major issue. That is absolutely the major issue here.
But now, to the trivia. All right, and last week's winner of the emoji-based trivia question, first of its kind, is Justin Henton. Justin, thanks so much for jumping in there and getting the right emoji.
All right, is any what? Fortunately, I can use trivia winner and trivia. Okay, so that's basically all we're going to show with this. If you want to see the full video, actually, let's do camera and graphics. And let's send it over to. Have I put this on my Twitter yet? I know I've liked the video. Well, let's see here. Is this over on my Twitter yet? See, wrong browser. We're gonna need Avast Secure for this one. Twitter to Twitter. Bam. Have I posted this yet? Now, I posted the article about Netflix, the Netflix disc service, but we are now going to tweet that over to YouTube, to twitter.com/MultimediaJay. Should have probably done this earlier. A little out of order with this. I usually post the links before I go live, but this is obviously an exception here. So the big thing here is that I understand that YouTube is going to be going after Twitch a little more than they have been. And this is the thing. YouTube's been trying to have a Twitch competitor for years. I remember when YouTube Gaming was first announced and all the stuff that's happened in the last several years. But what we're seeing here, especially with the Streamlabs quarterlies that come out as YouTube continues to grow, is that YouTube is trying to play catch-up. YouTube is absolutely trying to play catch-up here. And so the question is, what happens when YouTube catches up? Now, YouTube is working on their UI. That's a step in the right direction, because it's a couple key differences in the UI that hold back YouTube as a streaming platform. What happens when that is fixed? I think sooner rather than later, there is going to be essentially a proxy war between Amazon and Google through these companies, through these platforms. And so on the Twitch side of things, I like some of Twitch's UI decisions, particularly with regards to trying to present streams a little better. But what Twitch needs to do, Twitch needs to get themselves taken more seriously when it comes to watching video. And whether that's through clips, whether that's through highlights, or anything, Twitch needs to work on changing the culture of their user base so that stuff besides streams is more worth watching. There's big streamers, some of whom hire editors to make these fancy recaps of their streams. And guess where those all are? They're on YouTube. When is that kind of stuff going to be on Twitch? Yeah, there's a wonderful export feature, but I think the war between red and purple is going to be heating up very shortly, so to speak. And quite frankly, it's time for Twitch to start taking a very serious look at off-platform activity and why people feel the need to go off-platform to watch something besides a live stream. They made a step in this direction when they decided to make uploads available to people back when they were more gaming focused a couple of years ago, and they got flooded with Let's Plays. But in terms of Twitch becoming Amazon Tube or Purple YouTube, or whatever you want to call it, the YouTube competitor that the world has needed for years on the upload side, now that just chatting and more general content has become more of a thing on Twitch, is it time to reconsider the upload thing for everybody? Not just affiliates and partners. And a change in the culture. I'm surprised Amazon hasn't been more aggressive with this since they own Twitch. And a change in the Twitch culture so that Twitch can be used for something besides live streaming. Because, yeah, live streaming is Twitch's bread and butter, but when YouTube gets their streaming ducks in a row, they are the premier platform for uploads and a very strong platform, even down to the raw mathematics of hours streamed versus hours watched in live streaming. A two-headed monster and a sleeping giant that will then be asleep no longer. Twitch needs to prepare for that. YouTube's clearly taking steps in the right direction by working with their UI. When more word gets to the teams at YouTube and they make the key changes they need to make, this red versus purple thing is going to heat up like nobody's business. And multi-platform creators like myself, we're going to be having a blast as we figure out what should go on what platform, sometimes even down to the flavor of the month. If I don't want to deal with YouTube nonsense, I'll go to Twitch. If Twitch gets me mad, I'll go back to YouTube. But there'll be something happening somewhere, anywhere.